So, you can always tell from my personal experience, amateurs are just people who are very new. Hi, Katarina. I'm making you a video if you want to be a part of it. Just because, like, it's a snapshot of my life, you know? Trying to get an unfiltered glimpse. But anyway, so, you can always tell amateurs, in my personal opinion, hello, Katarina, from their single-minded approach to things. Like, anytime you get very myopic about something, like, I'd say like the biggest hallmark of amateurism is like, this one new herb will fix everything. Like, that's like the most, you know what I mean? It's like people who are like get real, like herbalism, I'd say herbalism is like a gateway drug into actual health awareness. I just want to try to keep my posture good because I start to constantly exercise, good posture. Herbalism is like a gateway drug into health because people who get into herbalism, like, you're noticing that what you eat has an effect on how you feel. So now you're trying to take ownership over how you eat and how you feel to have a beneficial effect on your overall system. It's like, it's perfectly coherent to me. But herbalism is, to me, an indicator of amateurism, because herbalism it's sort of, it depends. I mean, herbalism, again, it's like a gateway drug. Like, herbalism is useful as a gateway into understanding how things affect the body. But really, you have to look at the entire system. Like, I think right now just a lot about Back to Eden and Jethro Kloss and his work. And he does a lot of like hydrotherapy, he did a lot of like herbal enemas and stuff. And a lot of his work was really based around just clearing out your gut. Again, like, he's just like fasting you on juice diets, enemas and stuff, clearing out your gut, clearing out blockages. Disease begins in the gut, kind of like heating up and relaxing your body with water baths. So just very much like body centric. So you do a lot of like poultice compresses and like baths, hot cold alternating baths, keep you in a bath for hot baths as long as you can, like lots of like using just everything that was available to kind of like fix whatever was wrong. I mean, I think it's like and this is why I think that that to me is an indication of an experienced practitioner with a narrow domain of knowledge, because the experienced practitioner understands, like, it's everything. It's like you have your toolbox and you're trying to treat someone. Like, for instance, I went to a sports doctor when I was 16 for a broken finger. Finger's now fine, but broke my finger, and I was going to a sports doctor, and I was like talking to him. He was like, if we take you to a surgeon, they're just going to want to do surgery. And I was like, what? I was like 16 at the time. I was like, what? He was just like, yeah, like, they're trained to do surgery. They're just going to want to do surgery. And I'm like, so I shouldn't trust the surgeon? He just goes, like, so who should I trust? He's like, well, it's your finger, man. Like, if you need surgery. He's like, you should just try to let it heal naturally. And if it continues to feel messed up, then do something. It wasn't like broken. It was just like tendons and stuff. And then got slammed my groin months ago and made a video on that and let that heal. And that healed up really well. And now I'm healing up my arm, because I cracked my arm on a frickin' arm bar because my brother did not. Little brother syndrome. It's like he was just like, I want to submit my older bro so bad that I'm literally going to like just arm bar me at full speed from Scarfold. And yeah, my arm like cracked. Didn't feel anything tear though. Like, didn't feel anything tear. Nothing feels torn or anything. Just feels, I don't know, messed up. So I'm just kind of believing it better. But I mean, nothing feels torn. Like, I'm thinking back to the point of the injury, and it doesn't feel like anything tore. It just feels like it like cracked. Like it like cracked in a way it shouldn't have. I don't know, you know? So, but it feels like It's going through all the ranges of motion. Like, I don't know. It just strains. I don't really... I started looking up all the possible injuries that it could be. And I just was like, it's like, okay. Like, a lot of people were reporting basically, this happened, the exact same thing that happened to me happened. I thought it was fine. Then I went to the doctor. They told me I needed surgery. They got surgery, and now it's all like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I think that's a lot of why the Navy SEALs just try to teach you that you're fine. Like, they just teach you, like, you're just fine. Hi, Katarina. Because it's so many you're welcome, Katarina. In so many situations in life, you are just fine, and you're kind of, like, telling yourself that you're not, or whatever. Hello, Katarina. And I think that is... like, a lot of it starts in the mind. And like seeing my dad have cancer, like, I really saw him, like, win the mental battle. And there's obviously a physical battle as well, but there's definitely a mental battle. So you have to win that mental battle. You have to really believe that you can get better. And I kind of forget how I started this video, but I'll just keep kind of going with wherever I was going. So, like, Jethro Kloss was using all of these methods to help get people better. I mean, okay, so, like, studying sickness, studying disease, I think there's really no replacement for awareness of your own body. You have to develop awareness of your body and awareness of, like, how you respond to things, and keep yourself alive by engaging mentally, engaging physically, and really staying engaged with life. Because when you stop being engaged with life, you're just going to die. So ultimately, I see this hyperfixation on any one method. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I wouldn't say surgery is invalid. That's crazy. I'm also not going to say believing yourself to be healed or believing that your body is strong and healing itself is invalid either. I think they all go together. I think that there are different systems that we end up teaching ourselves for engaging in the thought process that we call medicine, that begins with meeting the patient where the patient is at, whether the patient is ourself or someone else. And then from there, we use means and methods that are understood to ourselves and the patient to begin to have effects that we can monitor and use that relationship we're building in order to guide our patient in the direction of health while building an awareness of what works and what does not work. I think that is really what it is that we're doing. And hyperfixation to any degree on any method, like, people will be like, osteopathy is nonsense because they talk about muscle manipulation. Hello, Katarina. I'm making a video, Katarina. They talk about muscle manipulation, which is obviously nonsense, because how could manipulating muscles heal the body? And then I'm like, well, people will do chemo, which is literally poisoning yourself in order to kill the cancer faster than you. But again, it's because if you implement the method with awareness, it's the awareness itself that is curative, I believe. This is interesting, actually. We're getting into this fascinating idea. This is why I like these types of videos where I just talk, because I don't even know I think half the stuff I think. I just think this stuff, and then I don't even realize it till I'm, like, talking to my brother, and he's like, why don't you make any videos about this stuff? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know that I think this stuff, because I've just been doing this for 15 years, and I have, like, 20,000 hours logged into this. So I can't even tell the difference between my personality and my beliefs on health. Like, is there a difference? I don't really know. Maybe. Like, maybe. I don't really know. I'm just kind of Devin Young, and I'm here doing the Devin Young thing. And if you think that's cool, that's neat, and I'll definitely just start helping you with this stuff, because it's just how I think. But basically, like, okay, so awareness itself is the transformative substance, because, like, okay, like, here's how crazy it is. Like, let's say you're in front of me and you're like, I have a cold. Well, I use my awareness of what you've been doing to, like, okay, like, let's say you're like, I have a cold and I've been working all the time and I've been eating this way and all this stuff. I'm like, which of these variables is producing the greatest amount of stress that is the least productive form of stress based off all my experience? It's really like this field of like experience. Like, I remember I'd roll with Dave Roy at NASF, or I'd ask him a question. He'd be like, I don't know the answer, but my jujitsu does. So then we get in the position, and then he would be like, so this is what you do. And like, that's kind of like how grappling works. Like, you just have the experience, and then you use your experience to ultimately inform your decision making, because it's kind of just the byproduct of experience. Like, for instance, you develop experience within the knowledge basis of modern medicine, and then you go shadow doctors and do the whole residency thing, and then you're able to practice medicine. It's like, well, what is it really? It's like, well, you have experience within this system that is accustomed to doing things, observing the outcome, and then modifying what it does based on the outcome. And this goes down to the minute level of what you're actually doing when you're interviewing someone. Interviewing someone, again, as anyone who's practiced medicine or health knows, is a lot of the process. Like, you have to actually figure out what's going on. It's like, hello, my name's Devin. Like, there's a whole context in which they meet you. They typically meet you after a period of illness when they've decided they need to seek out help. It's this whole thing. Like, really, like, the process of medicine is the process, hello, Katarina, of creating awareness. And if you can't practice medicine in a way that helps you create awareness, then you're really not practicing medicine, because medicine, if it doesn't produce awareness, it doesn't produce health, because if you're not aware of what produces health, then you won't be healthy for long. So health and awareness really go hand in hand. And really, like, the society we live in and all the habits and patterns we've inherited from our parents constitute a form of inherited subconscious awareness that itself forms the substrate of the collective unconscious. So really, all the health demons that we're noticing in our modern world are just these manifestations of unarticulated patterns within the collective unconscious that, when made aware of and then acted upon in a manner that enables us to observe the outcome with duration, like, you have to have time. Like, you have to bring time into this. Like, that's why, like, titrating the dose, titrating your treatments, having, like, incremental movement in certain directions is useful. Again, with rehabbing an injury, incremental movement is useful. Don't just try to go from, like, 0 to 100. Like, my brother was like, so my arm is, like, I can use my arm. And he's like, well, I didn't break your arm. Like, no, fucker, you broke my arm. Like, I can't deadlift my max right now. I can't do all the stuff I normally do with my arm right now. You fucking broke my arm. But because of the limited nature of the break, I think it'll heal itself. Like, I think it'll just heal itself, because nothing seems really catastrophically torn or anything. And I think it'll just heal. But it's like, geez Louise, like, I don't know. Like, it's just sore as heck right now. And then they got, like, real intense soreness towards the bottom of my elbow when I hold my hand upright, and I'm feeling it. Hi, Katarina. And it's like, I don't know what happened to it, but I mean, everyone online, like, it seems to me like there's the Navy SEAL response, and then there's the little bitch response. And the Navy SEAL response is like, it's fine. It just is fine. And I'll just strengthen it and let it heal, and it'll be all good. Because I have mobility issues, and like, it just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, everyone, like, if there's an issue, there's an issue. And if there's no issue, there's no issue. So I'm just going to bring awareness to my arm. And the awareness is telling me that my arm is fine. Like, my groin was fine, and I just need to rest it and then build my jiu-jitsu off of enabling my movement instead of trying to restrict my opponent's movement and stuff, because it's just like there is no opponent ultimately. There really isn't. Hello, Katarina. There really is no opponent, because it's ultimately the mastery of yourself under all circumstances. Katame! Katame! You want my help, Katame? What do you need help with? Pulling your socks off? They're stuck? Oh. Well, I think that they look great like that, so I think we should wait till we get home. But, yeah, so I think that, like, focusing... Like, you really just want to bring awareness to the problems. Like, that's really... Hello, Katarina. Bringing awareness to things within a systematic way is really useful. Focusing, though, on, like, oh my god, this one thing, like, it's holistic. It's just so holistic that I don't even know how to articulate it beyond thinking of health. Health is an emergent property of the systems that gave rise to your being. It can't be any other way. And it's like, well, if that's too mystical of an answer for you, then go look up some surgeon who's going to chop you up or whatever. But I think ultimately... Hello, Katarina. Ultimately, I think that what counts... No, Katarina, stop. This is unacceptable. She's trying to pull her sock off, and it's literally completely fine. It's like the funniest thing ever. She's trying to pull it off, and like... Katarina. That's so funny. Like, I'm watching her try to pull it off, and she's trying to pull it off like the wrong way. And instead of pulling it off over the heel, she's trying to pull it off straight over her toes. That's so funny. I think stuck on her toes. And now she's like in pain. It's ridiculous. She just wants attention. Oh, Adam. No, I'm gonna leave it. It's okay. You'll be fine. It's like stingers. Like, I don't know, getting a stinger in your neck. I've had stinger. Like, you're pulling something, you feel like popping your neck, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god. And it's like, yeah, you're fine. Ugh. I don't like that though. I don't like that though. I gotta modify the way I train. And like, remember my wife was like, she was like, you know, you should teach your brother a lesson if you think he did that on purpose. And I'm like, if I thought he did it on purpose, I'd have freaking heel hooked him at full speed. It's like ridiculous. It's just, it feels better though. It's just, it's this process of immersing yourself in the process of life. I don't know. I don't feel like there's any issues in my arm. I feel like there's issues in my head, but those are being corrected by phenylparastin. Like, I wonder what would happen if you gave me a brain scan, like a Dr. Amen style brain scan when I wasn't sleeping at all. Probably just show absolute madness. But I think ultimately though, you have to really like try to bring awareness to your life. Try to like walk a lot. Walking a lot is good. Try to spend time with your kids. Make videos, you know, your kids are in the car, even if they're screaming, it's whatever, you know, they'll stop. Like, is the sock, Katarina, is the sock still on your foot? I don't know if it's still on her foot, but she's fine now. It's ultimately like she's fine now because she's a little kitty cat. Call her a little kitty cat, but whatever. I don't know. really bummed about my arm. Like, that is really, really irritating. I just wish it was like a Hyundai by now, but it ain't. But it will be. But like, No. I was listening to that video Matt Serra had, and he's like, only go for the neck, and he never pops his arm during training. Like, that is just the way it should be. It's just so not cool having training injuries, because that's not why we train. But whatever, though, you know, whatever. What the? Hopefully, I just get enlightenment from. I love my body, you know, and I just don't. It's fine. It's just fine. If I'm just being a little bitch about this arm, I'm like, hey, my God, it's probably not fine. Like, then I'm just going to get a serious injury that's going to show me what the difference between fine and not fine is. So it's just fucking fine. It's like Navy SEALs. Like, I just feel fine, you know? It's just whatever. It's just completely fine. And I can flex it. Basically, I can flex it as hard as I want without it hurting. It's just inflamed, I guess. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Like, I freaking dislocated my arm when I was like 8. And I put it back in on the playground because I had no fear, because I saw it happen to my sister like a few months earlier, because like my dad had to put her arm back in. He was swinging her around by her arm dislocated. Just put my arm back in because I saw it done. And as you get older, you're like, oh, but like, what if I'm injured though? And that's probably why you get injured. Like, the mind makes it real in the Matrix. Like, little kids, I watch them just take like freaking dives off the roof. Not actually, that'd be horrible. But I mean, like, it looks like that sometimes. I'm like, they're just fine. How are they fine? It's like, because they probably just think they're fine. And then their body, through the quantum space that is 99.99999% of the atom, just connects the thing, and it's all good. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how reality works, and neither do you. But what we do know from quantum mechanics is that observing a molecule changes, or subatomic particle changes its behavior. It's really interesting. So I think that we should be very highly engaged in our lives and eat really healthy food that is like actual food. And I think we should try to develop systems of understanding and not myopically focus on single variables, because single variables are the biggest hallmark of amateurism. It's like, chocolate is going to make us live forever. It's like, you've never even done a Google search on health. But I gotta go inside. I'm all done with the drive. You know, that's why I'm staring at the camera, because I don't have to look at the road. Hi, Katerina. And I look so focused because I'm on phenylparastam. Took quite a bit of phenylparastam, but wow. And it always kind of gives me a headache when it's kicking in, but then once it kicks in, I'm like, so that's nice. I'm making another video on that today.